Hello, everybody. Welcome to It's Cheaper Than Therapy. We are excited for another amazing volume event today, and we've got some really fun things to share and show with you. So this is just kind of just like a little sneak peek of just some of the new things that we got in from Karen Berniston and Sizzix and Tim Holtz. So these are just super, super adorable. We'll kind of show you some little samples of what you can do with them. But we've got, look at this. This has a million different pieces in it. It's called Pumpkin Patch. It has just a ton of pieces in there, but you can do all different kinds of different pumpkin faces. So that's really adorable. We've got the pumpkin head guy. He is just fun. You gotta love all the Tim Holtz Halloween things and just the characters that he comes up with and inspired by. These guys are just really adorable. I love these guys. And he is just so funny. He's just so funny. This one is a really fun one. It's called Countryside. And it's one piece. It's one die. And it has a whole bunch of different cutouts. So you can use these little pieces individually. Or if you wanted to do them like in the collage and inlay them with different colors. Just to make one more piece. That's really super fun. There is also some new... This one is the Impresslit, which has the die and the embossing folder all at once, so it cuts and embosses. And then we have some more of the new texture fades, the mini texture fades. This one is the Mechanics, so there's a large one of the 3D folder, and then this one is the small one of the Foundry, which there's also a large one of the original. And gorgeous fall leaves for a 3D texture fade embossing folder. Just super fun. So one of the things that that we also do a lot of is Karen Berniston. And if you haven't seen any of them before, they're just really amazing ones. So this one here is a garden bench. And if you can see that, it's a pop-out little beautiful garden bench. Isn't that pretty? I think it's gorgeous. This one is the long nature edges. She comes up some really pretty ones. So you got the winter ones, you got the spring. You can do fall, so you can do the trees without any leaves. You don't have to do them winter, but you could also do them in the fall. This one here is a street lantern pop-up. This would go with so many different pop-ups and it'd be great for Halloween and Christmas. That's a really great one. This one here is the iron fence pop-up. This one has this fence that it kind of pops out. It kind of pops outward when you open it, and then it folds flat. It lays flat, I should say. It doesn't fold flat. It lays flat when the card is folded. And then here's a winter version, so you could decorate it for any season. Oh gosh, you gotta love this. The snowman pop-up. Look at him. You could decorate him in so many different ways, and you could also make different characters. You don't necessarily need to make him a snowman. It folds completely flat, so you know you don't have to worry about it taking up too much space in the envelopes. And then there is the house pop-up. So this is an add-on to the house pop-up. So this is a haunted house pop-up, a haunted tiny house, I should say, pop-up. And so you could create your house into different little villages. This one is the gingerbread tiny house add-on. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. And you get all of the little different things. You can use them on different card themes as well. So there's the pop-up ball. These are add-ons to the pop-up ball. And this is your Mr. and Mrs. Claus. Look at all the little fun pieces that you get. These guys just crack me up. There's also another little pumpkin head right there. So we got the Dracula and the pumpkin head, and you can add those onto your pop-up balls. So you can fit the 1131, the bitty ball pop-up, and you know, you can use the other pieces with your bitty one. So, and those dies are sold separately on there. Here is the gorgeous pop-up bench from Karen Berniston. Look at the different ways that you can use this in winter with the pop-up lamppost. Oh, I love this little bench. It's so adorable. Here is the add-ons to the tiny pop-up house. And so you can add different things. Here's the add-ons for the pop-up ball. So you can do Santa, Mrs. Claus. Here's another tiny house add-on. You can make it a haunted one. Here's the pop-up ball. There's a jack-o'-lantern. The beautiful Happy Halloween phrase. The different, the layers of the landscapes. I love this Dracula with the pop-up ball, the bitty ball. Okay, everybody, we are going to just make a quick little card showing some of the new things. So I'm going to kind of show them to you as we go along, but we're going to be using the Sizzix Express electronic die cutting machine. And we're going to be using the platform that is the coral color on the edges. So then that way we can do the 3D embossing, which we're going to do now. And I'll kind of show you that we're going to be doing just some layers on the cards here. And let me just kind of give you just kind of a little quick sneak peek. This is going to be some of the layers that we're going to do. So what I did is I actually sprayed this cardstock. It's a metallic-y cardstock that we sell. And I sprayed it with just a little mist of water. The reason for that is because we are here in Colorado. And in Colorado, it's very dry. And so sometimes you'll get a little bit different of a result depending upon where you live. If you're in, Arizona and Denver are actually very dry, even though it's a lot hotter in Arizona. But what I'm going to do is I put my cardstock inside the 3D embossing folder. And I'm just going to run it through the machine. And then that way it's going to actually pick up the embossing just a little better. It's going to pick up all the little details on there just a little better. And you can see this is the new 3D folder from Sizzix, and Tim Holtz is the designer. And isn't that just gorgeous? And so what I've done so far is basically just did an A2 size card. Did an A2 size card here. And then cut it down. Let's see, this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then so this one is just a little bit less. And you can kind of do yours to where you like it to be. But this one is 5 1/4 by 4 inches on the cut on that. And then this one is, I believe it's 3 1/2 by 3 3/4. Let me see. Let me check it really quick. Let me check it. It's like 4 1/2 by 3 1/2. And so it's going to give a really nice little edge on here. We're going to kind of layer it up a little bit too. But one of the other things is I kind of wanted to share with you is the impresslets. And like I said, a lot of people still don't really kind of totally know what an impresslet is. An impresslet is an embossing folder that has a cutting edge on it as well. And so it has a 3D folder, just like this one, but it actually has a cutting edge, and that's what's really cool about it. So it not only cuts, but it details very much in the 3D embossing. Embossing in 3D has different heights than just the regular embossing, which just is everything's embossed the same height. As you can see, this is what gives it the depth and the beauty of all of the embossing, because it is raised and embossed in just different heights. So it has that more of a topographical look to it. And so the 3D folder is a much thicker folder than your standard regular embossing folder. And so it has just that durability that you need. But sometimes, depending upon the papers that you use and the thicknesses of them, this is about 100-pound cardstock, so it's a lot thicker than your normal 65-pound weight. So you might get different results, and you may need to adjust that just a little bit as far as Do you need to spritz it? Do you need to take a shim off? Do you need to add, you know, something to it to get the result that you want? But this one I thought is a really pretty one. This one is a new one. It's been released not that long ago, but it's a beautiful poinsettia. This one has been around for a long time, and this one is the leaves, just really beautiful leaves, and that's by Tim Holtz. This one was just released not that long ago too, and it's the butterfly. But you can see we use the cardstock that has a different color core in it. So when you emboss it, you can actually kind of sand off the little edges on there, and you can it makes it pop just a little bit more. Or if you don't have that kind of cardstock, you can actually use like an ink pad direct to paper, kind of buff it up a little bit. And so that works as well. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to show and share with you is, oh wait, we're gonna cut the leaves really quick. So let me find that 3D folder, and I'd say that that's probably like the hardest thing with doing all of these things, is actually finding the folder that you just set down right next to you. And so this one is the new leaves 3D folder from Tim Holtz. And we are I'm going to find one of my little scrap pieces of this gold metallic-y cardstock. And I'm going to give it just that little bit of a spritz. And I just use a little water bottle I just kind of have that has a real fine mist. With the metallic-y paper, it's not going to soak up that water right away. And so what I'll do is I'll usually have like a little towel or paper towel on hand. And I'll just kind of wipe the excess off, because it's not going to soak up like your regular textured cardstock. And so I just kind of did a little bit of a spritz, and they dry really well. I'm going to put the paper inside the folder. I'm going to set it on top of the coral platform, and I'll have to show you my handy dandy little stand that I kind of keep all my platforms and pens and all my little gadgets and all that are nearby. And it's actually the little caddy, and the caddy, but I'm going to get everything cut. The caddy can attach to a machine, but it doesn't attach to all machines. And so sometimes, depending upon the machine that I use, I'll just set it on the table, and it works just fine just setting it on the table. But can you just see how gorgeous that these are? I mean, look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? That's gorgeous. Love, love, love it. God, I love these 3D folders and these impresslets. And they just cut it all out just beautifully right off the cuff. Okay, and so one of the other things is I wanted to share with you again, and we've showed them before, is our impresslets. And our impresslets are impressive. And so they are by It's Cheaper Than Therapy. They're the Sentiments. Oh, and they're not the impresslets. They're the Sentiments. So the Sentiments, like this one here, says thank you. Not the impresslets. They're impressive, but not impresslets. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them in the gold again. And I'm going to use the whole length of it, even though we technically don't need to use the whole thing of it on the... So I'm going to use the cutting pads, the glitter cutting pads from Sizzix. You can use your regular standard ones. You can run these through once, you can run them through twice. I did not spritz anything on them because they're not really embossing. I'm going to get, I think, my little die pick here. And so you can kind of look, and if you don't get it out, there's a little section that will, but you can kind of just give it a little tap. And then you can take like your little die pick or whatever it is that you have to just poke the little pieces out. And they're coming out really nice. So just kind of give them a little tab to get them off of there. Now I'm going to put the machine away here, so give me just a second. And I love the caddy, and I'm going to show you the caddy here. As soon as I make a space to set that machine again. So how's everybody doing today? Is everybody having a really great time? I'm still loving all of these virtual events. I love that all of you guys are hanging with them. But I wanted to share with you the caddy really quick before we put this card together. The caddy is great. I've got all of my little sentiments that I'm using for my cards. I just put them all right in here. I have the maker's tape. And what this is that it's like it's just like a little temporary tape, but it also has little measuring grids on them too, so you can put, you know, your pens, your markers, your, you know, whatever it is that you're using in your little caddy area. But it also has this area here that extends to a little bit. So if you don't want to have all your platforms and you just want to have a couple cutting pads there, then that way they're not flopping back and forth. You got it on the lowest setting. And this little guy extends out, and it extends one more for all of these little guys. So I just love having my caddy at my fingertips, and it stands up all on its own. And so you can set it to whatever setting it is that you want, whatever. I think I can even fit this one in. I think I can do 2 cutting pads and then this guy. So I've got my regular multi-purpose platform in here. Oops, upside down. Multi-purpose platform in there. Then I've got my extended one. I've got my cutting pads, and I got two clear cutting pads. But sometimes the third one, it can be just a little bit enough to try to just slide them in and out. So, but I just have that just sitting here right next to my machine. So if I want to grab my machine, then I can. Okay. All right. So basically, you know, we have our layers. We have our word cut out. We have a couple of gorgeous, beautiful leaves, the embossing. And we're going to just kind of put this together a little bit. All you need is just some foam tape. And I think I got my little glue thing here. Let me make sure that it's coming out. Oh, yay, it is. Okay, give me 1 second. All right. Wipe that glue off my hand that I just put on there. Okay, so basically what I like to just do is put my little foam dots on. And we've got a great show special too that we're doing. We're doing buy 2, get the 3rd one free on all Sizzix dies and embossing. And then on all the new Karen Burniston ones that we're doing buy 3, get the 4th one free. So basically, the entire store is buy 2, get the 3rd one free. And the Karen Burniston is buy 3, get the 4th one free. And so we're just going to layer this up. I'm just going to kind of show you how we build it up there real quick. I like these little round ones. I like dimensions. You don't have to use all of these foam tapes and foam dots and all that. But I usually like to put one in the middle. That kind of gives that little middle support of it. And you can use squares, you can use circles, you can use a whole roll of tape if you want. And we gotta get that middle one. Okay, we're gonna put this little guy right here. All right. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put my word on there, and then I'm going to do the leaves. And what I'm doing is just basically putting a little bit of adhesive on there. Going to take my tweezers and just kind of just dab it in here and just kind of get those areas. You can use all different kinds of adhesives if you want, but this is the Sizzix Express Glue. And I'm just kind of getting it all in those, but I just found that that works really well. I had a tip from a friend that showed me that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the thank you on here. And then I'm going to trim off the little tails here, but I'm going to trim them off. I'm going to let them stick out a little bit. And I'm going to trim them off here in just a second. I'm going to put the little leaves on first, but I like to put some foam dots on the back of them. And you can, some people put a ton, some people don't. So you can do whatever you'd like. But this is just kind of showing some of the new, pretty, amazing products from Sizzix, Tim Holtz. We're sharing with you all the new Karen Bernison that just came in. And they are amazing too. This all just came in. We literally just got in these Tim Holtz ones. There's a few more that are coming. And we'll have those. So I haven't even really pretty much, you can kind of just lay it on there if you'd like. You can even add another one if you wanted to, but I just wanted to have these guys. I think I'm going to move. Let me see what it looks like with this one here and this one here. What do you think? I kind of like that one. And so then you can just press them down and let me cut off that little end. And I think I'm going to go off to the gold. You can always trim off more if you want. Just got my little tiny scissors. Get my little bifocals going here. I think I'm going to go to the cream color. I like the cream color one right there. And so what's nice about those sentiments is that you can use them on a long card if you wanted to, or you don't have to. And so you have your little thank you. Okay? And so you can kind of bend it the way you want to, if you want it to flow, you want it to go straight. But look at those beautiful leaves. The 3D embossing and the 3D impresslets. So I wanted to say thank you. I wanted to say thank you very much for joining us today. And enjoy the show specials. And we'll put the dates on here in just a minute and the show special. Thank you so much, and you have a wonderful day. Okay, so one of the other things I wanted to share with you is the Sizzix cardstock packs. And if you really haven't seen the cardstock packs, they're pretty amazing. And so this is just like a really pretty mystical colors. It's got a really pretty texture to it. I hope you can see the texture to the cardstock. But it's a really nice cardstock. There's a whole bunch of different palettes. This one here, there's 80 sheets. This one here has a bunch of pattern papers, double-sided patterns. So not everything is cardstock, but you can see all of these pretty patterns that are on here. This one here, it's a botanical one, and it has almost like a foil sheen to the color on some of them, not on all of them, but you can see, look at the pretty leaves that you could use. So some have 60 in a pack, some have 80 in a pack. This one is just beautiful. This is called the Mystical Collection. And you get all of this in here. So you get 5 different kinds. You get 10 sheets of each kind. But isn't that just cool? Look at that holographic mirror. Iridescent glitter. An ombre. Or ombre, whatever you want to call it. Not the best ones, some of those. But here we got, you know, the 50 sheets and all of those as well. We got glitter and matte, brushed metal, pearl, and mirror. This is just beautiful. There's an ivory. That's really nice. Think of all the snow and wintry weddings. But weddings are different. You can have anything as a theme of a wedding these days. Nothing is traditional anymore. Here we got the whole rose gold palette. Isn't that just gorgeous? A gold. There's a pretty gold. And then a silver. But just think, these are nice cardstocks too. They are just gorgeous. One of the other things I wanted to share with you is it's a quick drying glue from Sizzix. It is the Express Glue. Now we use this on our project today. We also have these little little tiny guys that I used. And I had this little guy. It doesn't say it always happens all the time, but I had him sitting there for probably 2 weeks with it uncapped, and he came out, everything just came out just fine. If not, put a little needle in the tip of it to keep it from drying out. But these little guys, they have like the little cap on there that you can put on. But you can have like a whole bunch of different applicators for your glues, and it's really nice because it puts out just a little bit. Now, there's going to be a time that we don't want to ship the express glues, you know, because they're cold when it gets really super cold out and freezing. We don't want that. So if I were you, I would stock up on this express glue. It's just really a wonderful glue adhesive. We also have, I don't know if you saw it in my caddy that I had, but we also have these permanent markers that Sizzix has, and they have a whole bunch of them, double-sided tips on there. You know, you get the medium fine tip, you get a medium broad tip, just a different, really fun, different color palette on there, and they do color just wonderfully if you're into the permanent markers. There is also all of the glitters and beads and sequins kits that we have, and so enjoy. I want you to enjoy all of the different fun things that we have to offer you here at itscheaperthantherapy.com.